This is the Daily Brief for Tuesday, 25 August. 12 stories in 8 minutes: money, politics, jobs, and the machines. Let's go.
The U.S. just unleashed what it calls the greatest financial offensive ever. Iran says it has a 2-year plan to survive it. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced an economic onslaught he called the single greatest financial offensive ever against Iran. The U.S. will cut all economic ties with Iran and isolate any nation that partners with it financially. Iran's economy minister, Ali Madinizadeh, fired back, saying the government has been waiting for these plans and has a 2-year strategy to manage them. He claimed Iran has its own tools and that neither China nor Russia have accepted U.S. measures. Bessent said the U.S. is targeting 5 sectors: digital assets, technology, gold, aviation, and others. Iran has warned it will shut down all oil exports from the region if the conflict continues.
Trump just threatened to double tariffs on Canadian vehicles and auto parts from 25% to 50% starting January 1st. President Trump said he will raise tariffs on Canadian cars, trucks, and auto parts to 50% as of January 1st. This comes after U.S.-Canada trade talks collapsed late Friday, with both sides blaming the other for unreasonable last-minute demands. Prime Minister Mark Carney called Trump's threat unsurprising and accused him of wanting to destroy Canada's auto industry. Carney said Canada is ready to resume talks only if the U.S. comes with the right attitude. Canada walked away from negotiations moments before a Friday deadline that would have added 50% levy on nearly $20 billion of Canadian imports. U.S. had introduced last-minute demands, including a clause limiting which countries Canada could sign trade deals with.
Trump's doubled down, claiming Canada wants the benefits of being a U.S. state without actually being one. Trump told Fox News Canada wants the benefits of being a state without being one, after trade talks collapsed Friday. Prime Minister Carney called the new 50% tariffs a miscalculation designed to hurt and divide Canada. Carney confirmed he would match Trump's tariffs dollar for dollar from September 8th on steel, dairy, appliances, and electronics. He said the U.S. and Canada are now in a trade war and that you're at war when you get attacked. Trump told Fox the Canadians were foolish to engage in a trade war and think they will actually win. The new tariffs apply to about $20 billion of Canadian goods, including wine, dairy, cement, clothing, and hockey equipment.
Nearly 2 weeks after a storm, tens of thousands of people in Gary, Indiana are still living without any electricity. A severe storm struck Gary, Indiana on August 11th, bringing wind gusts of 99 miles per hour and killing 7 people. Nearly 12 days later, almost 30,000 people were still without power as of Sunday morning. 77-year-old Terry Dubois has been relying on friends to bring her non-perishable food and a power bank to charge her phone. About 1/3 of Gary's roughly 70,000 residents live in poverty, making the outage especially devastating. Reports show people unable to refrigerate medication, wheelchair users crawling down stairs without working lifts, and pitch-black roads at night. Global food charity World Central Kitchen arrived to help people without access to food as the outage stretched into a second week.
The delay of Paramount and Warner Bros. Discovery's $110 billion merger is freezing the entire media industry, and a market. Paramount agreed to delay its tie-up with WBD until as late as June 2027, about 9 months past the planned closing date. The delay is because an antitrust challenge brought by state attorneys general heads to trial. Media executives say the threat of increased scrutiny by state regulators could put more than just Paramount's mega merger on ice. The deal had already won approval from global regulators, including the U.S. Department of Justice Antitrust Division. Preliminary settlement talks between Paramount and California Attorney General Rob Bonta were swiftly called off. Jonathan Miller, CEO of Integrated Media, said the landscape has shifted significantly and expects a lull in deals.
A Goldman Sachs partner just warned that AI risks hobbling the thinking skills of the next generation of bankers. Chris Churchman, who leads Goldman's digital platform for institutional clients called Marquee, warned of huge danger in the era of AI. He said outsourcing reasoning to AI models creates cognitive atrophy that stops bankers from reasoning from first principles themselves. Just as people lost navigation and memorization skills with modern inventions, bankers risk losing analytical abilities if algorithms handle all heavy lifting. The push to embed AI into trading and banking could be a devil's bargain, making the industry more profitable today while eroding future talent. Churchman said Wall Street firms are examining ways to use AI to lower the ratio of junior bankers to senior employees. He urged Goldman to ensure the next generation has the tacit and intuitive knowledge that senior people have today.
Quick break, your best videos are sitting there, an hour long, unwatched. Orion Digital cuts them into short clips people actually finish. Podcasts, talks, and interviews, clipped and delivered ready to post. Find us at oriondigital.uk.
Police have arrested 12 people, including 9 men and 3 women, as they investigate the A66 crash that killed 7. 12 people aged between 19 and 61 have been arrested across Teesside on suspicion of offences, including possession of a firearm. The arrests are part of the investigation into the A66 crash near Middlesbrough that killed 2 police officers and 5 car occupants. A Volkswagen Passat pursued by police travelled the wrong way down the A66 and crashed into an oncoming police car. PC Tom Clough, aged 38, and PC Matthew Blades, aged 37, died in the crash, along with all 5 Passat occupants. 4 of the 5 people in the Passat had previous convictions, police said. Officers received several reports of 2 vehicles being driven dangerously on Saturday morning, with one believed to be ramming properties in Middlesbrough.
Paul Culper has been charged with murder, attempted murder, and arson after a Hounslow house fire killed 1 woman. Paul Culper, aged 34, faces 1 count of murder, 8 counts of attempted murder, and 1 count of arson with intent to endanger life. The charges follow a fire at a residential address on Berkeley Avenue in Hounslow at about 1:15 a.m. on August 19th. A 48-year-old woman died in hospital, while another woman, aged 40, remains in hospital in a life-threatening condition. 7 other people needed hospital treatment, 6 men and 1 woman, but were treated for minor injuries and discharged. Culper is due to appear at Willesden Magistrates Court on Tuesday. The Met Police said prosecutors have established sufficient evidence to pursue criminal proceedings.
Nearly half of employers say they have unfilled positions as hiring processes take longer to complete. Nearly half of employers are struggling to fill vacant positions as recruitment timescales stretch out. A significant proportion of businesses report having roles that remain unfilled for longer periods. The extended hiring process is creating challenges across the employment landscape. Companies are facing difficulties in securing the right candidates for open positions. This trend suggests persistent obstacles in matching job seekers with available opportunities. The situation reflects broader workforce dynamics affecting recruitment strategies.
28 states are reporting increases in construction jobs, according to the National Association of Home Builders. Construction employment has picked up across much of the United States. New figures show that nearly 36 states are reporting job growth in the sector. The National Association of Home Builders released the data, suggesting the industry continues to recover. Across the country, demand for construction workers remains strong in many regions. The figures suggest opportunities for those looking to enter the building trades.
OpenAI is pushing AI agents beyond software engineers, launching ChatGPT work to let accountants, doctors, and office workers use them. OpenAI released ChatGPT work last month on its lowest subscription tier for $20 a month. The product is meant to give white-collar workers AI agents that complete multi-step projects autonomously without just answering questions. Andrew Ambrosino, lead engineer for OpenAI's desktop app, has given the AI access to his inbox, Slack account, phone, and apps like Notion and Figma. ChatGPT work is a modified version of OpenAI's Codex coding tool, adapted for non-engineers. Thibault Sachiaux, who leads OpenAI's core product work, said the goal is to bring everyone along by doing entire complicated tasks autonomously and safely. Agents that work for longer stretches burn through more tokens, making them more lucrative for OpenAI on a per-user basis.
Hugging Face has been approached with acquisition offers, valuing the AI infrastructure startup at $13 billion or more. Hugging Face has been approached to sell at a valuation of $13 billion or more, according to Business Insider. The startup's platform is where developers and researchers share, find, test, and deploy AI models. No deal has yet been reached, and it is not clear who Hugging Face has been talking with. The startup has reportedly been talking to banks to help evaluate bids. Hugging Face last raised in 2023 at a $4.5 billion post-money valuation led by Salesforce Ventures. CEO Clem DeLange said the company is close to profitability and only recently started touching money it raised 3 years ago, raising questions about whether a sale will truly happen.
That's your brief. Every story here comes from a published report, and every source is listed below. Subscribe, and we'll do it all again tomorrow.